Innovators Corner. It is Tuesday evening, and I and Shalini are back to discuss design patterns this time. Welcome, Shalini. How are you doing?
Hi Priggya, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank
How's
you.
your Tuesday?
It's going well. All excited for our Tuesday evening chat.
Yes, and I hope everyone watching this show is doing well. Tuesday is too close to this weekend that we cannot say we are in the middle of the week, and it's too far away from the next weekend for us to not be able to wish everyone a good weekend. So we're still in the thick of things.
Yes.
So, design patterns today.
Yeah,
Okay. And I suppose you're waiting for me to make the opening remarks.
definitely. As usual.
Opening remarks. Design in India, it's called design registration. In certain other countries, it's called a design patent. And it is it's protection for the aesthetic part of an object. We don't cover functionality, we only cover the design or ornamental features of the object. The moment we start talking about functionality, it's no longer a design patent, it's a utility patent, our regular patents that we normally talk about here. So, two separate things, design and utility.
Yeah.
And now we'll learn a bit more about what constitutes a design registration.
Absolutely. So Shalini, whenever I discuss design, I always give the example of this mobile phone, which I have in my
Yes,
near me every time, or any product which is near me. So I always say the look of the mobile phone, the look and how it feels in my hand is the part of design, and the way it functions, like the touch sensor, the unlocking mechanism, because sensors are involved, software is involved, hardware is involved, a lot of functionality is involved, that will come under utility patent. But anything which looks like, which we look through our eyes, is, and we feel through our hand, the look and feel is a design patent.
yes. The moment you claim a utility for it, it's no longer a design patent.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the time of protection. I mean gosh, now I forgot. I'm forgetting words now. The duration of protection is lesser than your regular patent, but it can be registered. It can be renewed once. Correct?
Correct.
It's 10 years plus
That's 5 years.
once more renewal for 5 years, so a total of 15 years, as opposed to patents which are 20 years.
Absolutely.
And when we were studying it in college, the it didn't stick in my head as much as well as it should have, even though after studying patents and trademarks and copyright, the design part seemed very light and it didn't stick as much. But when I started practicing,
Correct.
then it made more sense and then it came together and I realized, okay, it's at the same level of complexity in gauging what is a design, as
Absolutely.
we struggle with an inventive step and non-obviousness and so on.
Absolutely. And a lot of infringement. I think in designs we have so many infringements happening, and it's basically the difference between utility and design is just the look and feel of a product. So if someone has copied the way your product looks, it is sufficient. You don't have to go into the functionality and things like that. The look is copied, it is an infringement. So I think it's easier as compared to the utility patents. At the same time, it is very, very useful.
Yes. And there is no good design and bad design. There is no one judging the artistic level caliber of your design.
Correct.
It just has to be something that is ornamental and something that has an aesthetic is the aesthetic component of your of I encountered a very interesting question last week on one of the chat groups that I am a member of. a jug of water, whatever class. So just like we have trademarks have different classes and patents have IPC classification, designs also have classification system. And uh, would a jug in which I fill water, and a jug comes with six glasses, and they all have the similar design. Can I file one single application for the jug and the glass?
Oh my god, that's the tough one. So, see, in design also, I think Shalini, we have parts like we have the look, then we have the patterns, 3D,
Hmm.
2D. Like it can be
Hmm.
specifically divided into various elements. So I
Correct.
think if we are claiming the elements, for example, prints on which or the prints which are part of that jug and glass, that can be given in a single application because that is common for all. But
Right.
if we are uh, probably having a shape, the configuration, then configuration has to be different. Like the 3D part of that jug should not be in existence up till now, and
Mm.
the shape of the jug should be different because
Correct.
the, the element of novelty has to be there, then only you can get it registered. So then we need an application for that.
Yes. So I think that's a case to case basis. I cannot
Correct.
give an answer right away that the jug and the glass, even though
Correct.
they belong to the same set, I cannot tell you without looking at it whether it's in the same application or different application.
Shalini, interestingly, now that we are discussing this, there are several board games on which people have gotten design patents, like various kinds of board games. So, an interesting thing is, if we have a deck of cards, can we like a different kind of game cards? Can those all cards be filed in a single application, or we need different applications for them?
Different kinds of game cards, meaning
like
the
uh, like for example, a new card game is developed and which has a set of 32 cards. So for each card, do we file different design application or a single application?
ooh, that's a tricky one.
Again, I think if the side which is common to every card, one application can be filed for it, and the main elements, the look of one single card will be able to protect if the cards are not very different from each other.
I think so. So one side of the card will be the same, correct? Our regular playing
Correct.
cards. One
Like we have
face is
Uno cards.
hmm?
Like
Uno,
we have
yeah,
Uno
correct.
cards.
On one side it just says it's black background, it says Uno and it has that thing. On the other side, I don't think it is there's any novelty feature for it to be protected.
Hmm. Yeah. So we'll have
So
to again case by case basis decide what do we do.
now, well, I'm thinking that when we have our playing cards, not Uno, the regular ones
Yeah.
with 52 cards, one face is always the same for the entire deck of
Yeah.
cards. That's how we know there are 52 cards. The other side is your face cards and number
Correct.
cards, and those don't, you're not going to get protection for those. So I
Correct.
think you can get for all the cards in one, unless it's a different kind of a game in
Correct.
which then things will get complicated.
Yeah. So I was speaking about a different kind of game which is being developed by somebody.
So okay, so since you're talking about games, how do we distinguish whether I should go with my design as a protection for artistic work under copyright or should I go for design?
So see, a very straightforward, simple answer according to the Indian law. If a subject matter is capable of being a design and being a copyright, and you are making more than 50 copies of it, you will lose the copyright protection. So at that point of time, it is mandatory to register a design. If you haven't registered a design, you lose the copyright protection, you lose the design protection, and you'll remain with no protection at all. And
But if
people
I have filed for a copyright and it's gone over 50 copies,
Yeah.
Now there's no novelty in it.
Yeah.
So do I not get, then I don't get a design also, or I'm precluded from filing a design.
Yeah, you are precluded from filing a design because
So I
novelty
should
is
have
not
filed it.
there.
Yeah, novelty. I have destroyed my own novelty. So I should have, along with the copyright, I should
Correct.
have preempted it and filed a design registration as well.
Correct. There is a very famous case, if I'm not forgetting. Yeah, a very famous fashion designer. I don't want to take the name. So the prints were being copied. In Chandni Chowk in Delhi, the prints are being copied and everything. So that designer filed a design infringement case and a copyright infringement case, and in that case law, it was said because more than 50 copies have been created and the design was not registered. Everybody is free to make same lehengas.
I saw that one.
So it is very, very interesting. That's how I realized for like big designers and everything why it is important to file designs.
Absolutely. But it's like it's given a stepdaughter treatment in the IP world,
Yeah,
I feel. It's not given as much importance. Like when someone goes and files for, they spend so much time and money and resources filing for a patent. And then for the same thing, they ignore filing a design registration. And
correct,
I think then they lose the chance of it being like a complete, and then, with a trademark, then you have the complete protection,
correct.
which is
And
what Lego did.
yeah, and mostly, Shalini, I think in most of the application there are chances that you can file design and utility patents both, but people tend to ignore the design part.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that is generally the case. But to that extent, design can be filed on on a product as small as this lip balm to a product as big as a car or a machine producing coal in a thermal power plant. So anything can be a subject matter of design.
Yes. The way I like to explain to my clients is, if you have a plate, a dinner plate, and there
Yeah,
are flowers on the edge of the plate, if those flower patterns are stopping the food from spilling or are adding to the food, to the process of eating food or serving food, then it's utility patent. And if it is there only uh, for viewing pleasure, then it is design.
wow, awesome example. I think everybody now understands it.
Yes. And how long typically does a design registration take?
It is faster than the utility patent. I can say that much faster than the utility patent, but still I can't give you stricter timelines because of all the COVID. The
Yes.
timelines have been exceeding, and we haven't got the registrations for the design application which we filed last year. Initially, previously we used to get it within 1 year, but now I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because of the pendency at the patent office,
Yes.
but still very much faster than the utility.
Very much faster, seriously. But I think I excuse me. I think we get so enamored with the whole glamour of patents that we ignore design. So I think everyone who's watching this or listening to this, please don't neglect design registration. Backed by your utility patent, or as a backing for your utility patent, it gives you a 360 degrees protection for your IP.
Yeah, definitely. It is very important, and I think for all products, if it is a physical product, it's appropriate to file a utility and a design patent both.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I have some interesting examples, but because of confidentiality, I cannot share them. I'm stopping myself from sharing. So I would like to add: don't file design for things which are in existence, because then it will act like it will be a problem for you and the opposite parties to which you'll be filing cases, both of them. So, for example, don't file a design for this pencil because this is in existence.
Yes. Also, what part of the pencil that's important?
Yeah, there has to be a novelty requirement associated with a design. If you are going for a design, it should be new. It should not be in existence before. So innovating a product, making new kind of earphones or a case for a earphones which has a different shape is a subject matter of design. But filing a design application for this exact similar case is not a good idea.
Absolutely. And I think I was just going to say something about design registration. Um, it'll come to me. Maybe next time when we're discussing something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a fairly straightforward process, and oh yeah, we one of my clients had we've got registration, so I can talk about it. We got a patent for a different kind of a mask. He also went ahead and filed two designs around the mask, and with the trademarks that we have filed, it's now a complete package. We
Yeah.
have Indian and US patents, we have design registrations, we have trademark. With I think it's a bundle that is ready to be shipped out.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting because then the whole product is protected in all
Yes,
sense.
the whole product is protected and it's something that is required. So when it has all the components and
Hmm.
features in it, I think it makes life easier.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's all for today.
Yeah, we'll come back next week with a meatier topic.
Yes. So till then, do think about design registrations all around you because there would be many, many, many of them. And keep innovating.
Keep innovating.
Okay. Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you, Prigya. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and we'll see you next week.